Well, let's get going then. Are you guys ready? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so the timer starts when I hit new game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm McNutty. I'm going to be running Parasite Eve 2, which I think is the oldest game we're going to see. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Which is old enough that this thing was made by Squaresoft, which does not exist and has not done for a while. Anyway. Come on, let's get out of training. This is no fun for anyone. And auto run, because otherwise it's going to take a long time. Yeah, so Parasite Eve 1 was really fun. Right, the premise of the plot was largely that one day everyone catches fire, and then it kind of ran from there, which is cool. Basically, the evil Dr. Clamp created post-mitochondrial creatures in something out of 2012. So that's what we're facing. And because of thinly veiled plot MacGuffins, Aya can also cast magic spells, which is kind of fun. Go on, Pierce! I want to start playing the game. So the first level is Acropolis Tower, which is basically shit's gone down and the FBI has sent their mitochondrial investigation special team or something like that to deal with it. So that's where we open up. Now this is kind of cool, given that this came out in '99. Right, this isn't bad. Although here we see Aya's ability to like be a sensible human being, and it's just like, that was the helicopter. Everyone died. Sad. It's like, you know, this isn't how human beings respond. But I'm sure that'll be fine. Okay. So now like the real game starts, as it were. And we're gonna start it off by running forward a lot. Don't care about you. We want to get to the cafe. Oh yeah, while I'm here, this run comes with a massive caveat, which is that I only found out this game existed a month ago. So take this with a pinch of salt. But it's been excellent fun. And I hope you like the sound of footsteps, because they are loud. But yeah, we'll go to the cafeteria. That seems like it might be a nice place. Oh god, no. Okay. Let's just step around you. Nothing to see here. Don't worry about me. Here, if we dodge to the side, we can actually start the cutscene slightly quicker without triggering a scene change, which is just so tedious. They take so much time. First enemy of the game. Bom, bom. Fireball. Fireball. Wait for it. Fireball. Wasn't that fun? We'll take that. Having some extra health here isn't the worst. And we want to pick up a piece of its brains, because somehow these creatures are different. Which, like, shouldn't really be a surprise to anyone, right? They're just eating people. This isn't what creatures normally do. But hey. This is annoying because it turns you around needlessly here, because like, we're not doing anything with them. But now we need to go tell the big boss that a bunch of people got eaten. To be honest, they probably knew that, but no, we're good. We stick to the script, the plot, because goodness knows that's like all we have at this point. No, we don't want to save. Saving is for scrubs. Well, I mean, we have save states, so that's not really true, but... okay. Let's have a gander down here. Oh! Wall. Yeah, like with several things, like the gate has been unlocked. I mean, we never knew it was locked. But we'll just roll with it. First secret item here. There's a bottle in the bin, which is the MP boost we need to take down the boss at the end of this level. No, I'm just going to scrub out of this one. Yes, I would like to take the key. Basically, like, if the game ever asks you to pick something up, the answer is always yes. Push a button, always yes. There is never a point where you don't want to do this. Oh, come on.
You got a second for a donation readout?
Go for it.
We have 420 being donated from Hermit. Good lucky McNutty, McNutty good lucky.
Hermit ++.
Thank you very much, Hermit. So all appreciated. Any donations of any amount.
But especially 420.
Yeah.
So now we're done with this this side of the level. So we can go on and do the other side now that we've unlocked the lift. So here we want to like hug the wall so that we don't trigger a fight with this guy, because fights, like, they suck a little bit of BP, which we can't lose too much of, but more importantly they take time. And there's like one cutscene going up the lift. Oh, this is so tedious. Another cutscene going up the lift, and then we run over this little bridge here. And then guess what's happening on the other side? Yep, another lift cutscene. This is my life now. It's like, fuck's sake, come on. Second hidden item of the game. Somebody just left some grenades in the weather station. Guess we better take those before someone hurts themselves. Let's head into the church. Maybe it'll be fun, you know, maybe a little party in there. Who knows? Oh god, no. Right, let's run away. Screw this. We're the FBI, we're not here to help people. Just want to save our own skin. Okay, first RNG spot of the run. Let's save here. Basically, like, there are little eels in here that eat you, and it might be that we get hit twice and everything is basically fine, or it might be that you just die. Like, this was fine. We don't really need much health to take on the boss, but it's just like super annoying. You're supposed to put in a little key code that you found, and then you can put up a bridge and, you know, everything is rosy, but we don't have time for that, especially because we get healed fully after this level.
We got some good comments in the chat that your commentary is very calming and really good, and is very disparate to the actual nightmare fuel that is those monsters. So.
Well, I just got desensitized to it now, I guess. Okay, right, before the boss fight starts, we're just going to kind of suit up here. So we're going to move the bottle in. What do we don't care about DPS. So this is an MP boost, which we're going to need. Might have to reset a little bit on the boss fight. So basically we just run out here, and then as soon as we get to the end, okay, so first thing, fireball to knock him back and save us a bit, get us a bit of time. Basically, oh, I might have fucked that up. So we aim at this. He's going to fire a gas grenade, and basically as he walks past, we want to get him with that amazing sound effect. Same deal over here. Right. Gas grenade, dodge, and then he's going to move forward. But getting this one, sometimes it misses. Yeah, so we wanna do that again. This is gonna cut. There we go. And finally, there's another electrical box. I mean, who leaves these things here? Basically, you just want to unload the clip into it first. And again, and then we can fireball. And if we aim against the wall, we can hit him in the back with the fireball, which deals more damage. So this is a recurring thing. This will actually come back later. Basically, we just want to like, yeah, okay. So the other thing is all of the combat damage is RNG. So sometimes you just get to a point where like you just need that little extra oomph. Oh, that's fine. We didn't actually take any damage or anything there, which is cool. It's just gonna wait for this to play out. Oh no, he wasn't dead. This wasn't even his final form. Because it's a Squeenix game, right? None of the bosses have one form. So that was cool. That was the first level. I guess this is technically the second level. Our colleagues don't actually care what we do as long as we just like glance at the map and then fuck off out into the field. With paperwork. Paperwork's for normies. Okay. Before we go, come on. We want to grab second recovery. Why not? I want to move the grenades because, like, we actually do need. Yeah, because we actually do need the grenades. Check that worked out. Yeah, cool. Come on. Yes, we were born ready. Yawn. So I'm not actually sure why we end up in Dryfield. I haven't actually played the game through properly. Only Speedy. Basically, we just end up in this like backwater town in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, let's go talk to the guy who lives here. See if he's a cool dude. And then it's like, oh no, guess who's here? These things, which are basically dinosaurs, and they're also really dumb, right? This guy just charges into the wall and breaks his own head. That's fine, he can do that. See if we care. Dryfield is actually really cool. So we're going to be spending a couple of levels here, and there's lots of little interconnected buildings that all go around, and like you get different parts at different times. This is an example of really good level design, and then later on, it's like the designers just got bored, and there's like more backtracking, and it's less fun. So this is a really good level. Also, we get to solve this little puzzle here, where we need to move the car around to get to the door. But the problem is that like when we move the car so that we can open the door, it also blocks the door. And of course, like you can't use logic to solve the problem because that's not what these things are about. There's a hidden door here that you have to unlock, which is kind of annoying. Turn the car back again and go through a little secret door. So we can meet Mr. Douglas. Douglas, but he has a cool dog. We'll see him a little bit later. And now we've said hi. We just begged a key from him. So let's go see what it opens. And we go. So for this one we want to cut around the edge of the courtyard because there's a Shire surprise in the middle. which is no fun for anyone. This guy is just sleeping on the job, right? Doesn't even clock us by the time we're up the stairs. Should really hire some better enemies. Actually, they do later on. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Let's go around here. Yeah, it's annoying that every fight that you don't win, you lose BP, which is the currency used to buy items and also to upgrade abilities, like which we do need. But we get enough from bosses that it's okay. There's a ladder. Yes. Could you climb it, please? So now we're out in the courtyard area of Dryfield. So we want to run around here. Take these guys out. Oh, okay, that didn't do as well as it should have done. So that's fine. This is kind of cool. Little exciting scene coming up. We get the little klaxon. The door. So the door is on a timer, so we do need to get a little bit of a hurry. But this bit is fun. So just before the scene change, you run across and you dodge this guy, and then same thing over here. Oh, let's do that again. Wait, what am I doing? Concentrate. There we go. And we just tuck into this little door here. Lovely. These guys are also kind of fun. So we just... wait for them to line up. They're super chill. Oh no. Bullet problems. But it's fine. This is kind of why we had the extra recovery queue, just in case. In fact, let's just use this one. Yeah, it's tempting to just discard all the items that you don't need, but this is a little bit safer. Don't care about you, but we do care about opening the door so we can get out. That's kind of important. That looks awkward if you forget. Just gonna chat to this guy up here. Hey, how are you doing? Yes, we would like your key, and no, we don't want your weird tablets. Whoever thought that would be a good idea? Just gonna go back here and see what our new key opens. I don't care about these guys. So this is the saloon key. So we get to go into... It's not really the saloon. Also, like, I wouldn't hang out here. It has these weird bloodsuckers on the ceiling, which we don't care about. We're going to steal a fridge magnet. And you don't get any choice about this. I was just like, I want the magnet. It's mine. I think every other item in the game, you get a choice of whether you pick it up or not. And this one's just like, nah, fuck it. It's mine. I want it. It's shiny. So that's cool. Why would we possibly need a magnet, you say? Okay, so we're just going to skate around here so we don't get surprised by those guys in the middle again. Then we get down this passage. So there's a little bit of RNG on this guy. Hopefully that will be okay. Yeah. So in theory we fireball him. Well, this is how it should work. And if we knock him over, by the time he gets up, we fireball him again. Massive damage and we win. Yeah, let's pretend that happened the first time. And we want the plastic bottle because that is the MP boost we are going to need to face number 9, who was the boss we just faced at Acropolis Tower, for the second time. Oh look, we have a magnet! Isn't this cool? Puzzles plus plus. Puzzling every day. So this just lets us into like another part of this. We need to go back to Douglas because we need more stuff from him. We've heard there's this thing called the shelter. Oh yeah, there's some guys in here now, but that's fine. We'll deal with them on the way out. Yeah. Although yeah, if you leave them, it's a little bit annoying. Yay! Here's Douglas's dog, Flint. Although Flint is a little bastard because if he beats you round the car, then you have to sit through another cutscene where it was like, oh Flint, and it's like I honestly couldn't care less. Come on, let me in. That's fine. Flint will come back. This isn't, yeah, Dryfield isn't the last we're going to see of Flint. Also, Douglas is a maniac with tons of guns, so that's fun. So he's going to give us some rope. Optional soap. We're just going to like ride Flint up here. Yeah, we would like the plot relevant item. We definitely would. So if you remember the well right at the start, now we can go down. Now we can basically jump down the well. Oh, but first, we need to do this scene, which is probably fine. Can get a little bit annoying sometimes. We wait for these guys to move it. Second guy to move into position. Oh, that was kind of crap. Yeah, that's fine. That could definitely have gone worse. It's a little bit hit and miss, like what you get there. Sometimes you take all three out with one fireball. Sometimes it takes like 2 fireballs and some bullets if the RNG is bad and I'm also bad. Oh yeah, I need to remember. Sometimes if you activate things, it'll just use the plot item for you, and sometimes it just makes you do it. Presumably because I don't know, like the other things that we have might be relevant, but that's like blatantly not true. So we're gonna go up here, dodge some bats. Yeah, this is really dark. This is kind of hard to see, but it'll be fine. So now, okay, so this is the first example of the hammy double take, which is quite frankly just hilarious. Okay, so it's possible to dodge that guy. Like we don't have to, like and it takes a little bit longer to. Okay, that was really bad. Let's try that again. Because if you go around his head, then sometimes he just doesn't notice. And we're going to use that later on. Yeah, I just want to get that ladder. So what we've done is we've come under, and there was a shop right at the start of the level, which we've now just popped up in. And that has these little like weird ant jellyfish things. So we're just gonna like ignore them. This is locked from the outside, so we have to get in to unlock the door so we can come back later. Also, if we go down here, plot relevant item, time for a donation.
It is time for a donation. How could you tell? We have another 420.
Yay!
From Metal Gabu. Keep up the good work, lads. Thank you very much, Metal Gabu.
So there's a kind of a weird screen here. We just need to get the line scratch marks on the floor ... Oh, now this guy's woken up again. So yeah, basically we need to get some tools from Mr. Douglas in order to prise this thing off the wall. But because we are a good law-abiding citizen, apart from when we steal from people, like every RPG character everywhere, we need to go back and ask him for the tools. We can come out the front door for this, so it's a little bit quicker. if we skirt down here again, like these guys are just nice, peacefully asleep, and we'll leave them that way. Also, this game is kind of like towards the end of the era of tank controls. So the reason that I'm sort of derping against the wall sometimes is because, one, like tank controls are just bad, but especially in a game where the scene changes mean that the camera switches from like front to back. So suddenly you go from like pressing left to turn left to pressing right to turn left. Which is annoying. After a while you start to anticipate it, but it's still just like, why? Yes, we need information, and by information I mean your tools. Right, that doesn't actually relate to anything that happens in the following conversation. Okay, now we've listened to you. We've got permission to take your tools and never give them back. Actually, there's an even better line later on, where we just ask, like, Mr. Douglas for increasingly valuable things. First it's the key to a motel room, now it's his tools, and later on, yeah, we'll see. So now we have a reason to explore the other half of the garage, and over on this little tool shelf is a monkey wrench. So now we go all the way back to the room, use the monkey wrench, and we have the boss fight for Dryfield Daytime. Yeah, so I felt this earlier, like, if we're careful up here, we can actually get into the door without waking up the guy. So it saves us a little bit of BP, but more importantly, yeah, it saves us some time. Right, so before the boss fight, we want to buy Necrosis 1, which we'll need for nighttime, and also Energy Shot, which we'll be needing later on in the run. In terms of items, we need to make sure that our MP boost is sat here. We've got the recovery in case we need it. I think everything else is just fine and dandy. 72 HP, yeah, we've got recovery in the inventory, that's fine. So let's make a save state. And use the monkey wrench. So we just prize Mr. Douglas's wardrobe off the wall. I'm not sure we actually asked him about that. And we get to go through here. So yeah, the number 9, who we fought just now, is back. Let's hope this goes okay. So basically you need to run past him again, so you need to hit his back, which is actually quite easy to do, and depending on how this falls, yeah, you can hit him 3 times, which is nice, and he'll just do random attacks, which we need to, well, in theory dodge, but whatever. As long as we hit him back, hit his back, and then we're just going to guzzle the MP boost. And do a better effort at dodging. Okay, yeah. Screw that. Ooh! Oh, don't miss again. Yes, got him. Okay. So that's cool. Cool story, bro. And now we are into Dryfield Night. Because it turns out it's way cheaper to do level design if you just reskin the levels you already have. skip some cutscenes. Ah, we meet the other half of our buddy cop duo, Hannigan. So normally you get a full heal when you sleep, but here we just get a full heal because I'm not entirely sure what the plot reason is. But it's okay. It's alright. So Hannigan's got a car, and we can just get the hell out of Dodge. It's the current state of the plot. Oh no. Looks like Hannigan's car is dead. Rip Hannigan's car. Okay, so we want to go over here and clean up the guy by the edge. Hopefully he'll help. But quite frequently can't be asked. So if we stand here by the car, we can actually get both of the guys who jump over if we just sit here. So they jump over, we fireball them, and then Hannigan cleans them up. Is the like expected state of affairs. However, Hannigan is like screwed up and not done his job. But it's fine.
Have we got time for another donation?
Go for it.
So we have another 420 donation. Love it. From Centricity. Thank you very much. Loving the stream and all of the speedruns so far. Keep up the good work, Heart. Thank you, Centricity.
Nice.
That's much appreciated. And the 420 though.
How many 420s?
It's 3 in a row now. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, can we keep this up? So now that Hannigan's car is toast, we need to go and ask Mr. Douglas to make the ultimate sacrifice. But before that, this is a fun little fight. So basically, we need to aim at the bats, because if we walk forward to trigger the fight scene so that we are allowed to cast magic, oh, I screwed that up, then we don't have enough time to cast the necrosis before the bats hit you and interrupt the cast. So just to murder all the bats. So yeah, that's a little trick that you kind of use sometimes, because basically you're not allowed to cast magic out of combat like that. But if you aim at something that's an enemy, then you automatically trigger a fight scene, no matter if they were going to attack you or not. So now we're introduced to probably my most hated enemy in the whole game. These guys, they have an onside and an offside. And so the onside has a spiked leg, and they hit you for damage that's like proportional to the amount of health you have. And it really sucks, because the lines to avoid them are, wow, I find them quite hard. So just like, what do you need? I need your truck, Douglas. I came here, I shot up your motel, and now, like, give me everything you have. And he's like, sure, if it gets you out of here. So the goal here is to take as little damage as possible, because there's a little bit of a, yeah, just dodge around the sky. We just need to get to the end of the level with one recovery left over, because the cannon head, the enemy at the end of this, and we basically need a recovery to get through him. Do not care. Gonna run away. Yeah, I think they really nailed this level, or like Dreadful Day and Night. Like they're really cool. So we're gonna do the thing again where we go around the end so we get shy surprised by the dudes in the middle. I just need to like, yeah, guy's gonna hit his head against the wall again. Good job. Now we get to go to the next scene over, and the lobby, where, of course, like, okay, so Mr. Douglas wants to protect his master key from all the thieves. So where does he put it? The one place a thief is never going to check, the cash register. Like, what a A1 idiot. Like, that's the worst security measure ever. So we're going to plunder the master key, and then go up into the storage room, basically where Douglas just like dumps his shit. Come on, stairs. There we go. Tank controls minus. Also, just having to press X to go upstairs. That's kind of dumb. It's probably gonna get hit by this guy. Yeah. Right, and that did 25 damage. That's insane. Yeah. Originally, I would just discard all the recoveries that weren't absolutely crucial, and then it's at some point it's just like, well, it's a lot safer, especially on stream. So we're gonna run up here, this nice quiet room with an intact skylight. Oh, jerry can. Yes, please. And then, yeah, dramatic entry. These things even have like a manic laugh. They're so cool. Oh, I managed to dodge one. Dodge. Yeah, okay, this is going well. Easy. GG. Yeah, another 25 damage. Should dodge this guy, hopefully, maybe. Might get another swing in. Okay. It's got there. Yeah, this should be fine. I don't think we'll need the recovery. So now I've got the jerry can, need to go fill it up. Yeah, just down here. Which kind of begs the question, like, why does this guy... He does it again, this is so dumb. Why does Douglas keep a truck and then not have it filled? Right, his one job as a truck owner. Okay, so this fight can get kind of annoying. So we dodge this guy, and then come up, and they're supposed to be in position so that we can hit both of them with a... Yeah, okay. Screw that. So that we can hit both of them with a fireball. Yeah, I think now... Okay, we got one. Plus they interrupt the casting. It's a right pain in the ass. So as soon as this guy comes back, like, we can actually... die. There we go. Because we actually need them dead before we can fill the jerry can. So that was not a good fight by any means. Oh, we need to be 1 inch closer to the pump. We turned our jerry can into gasoline, presumably still with the jerry can attached. So now we're going to go back to Douglas with his truck and get ready to get the hell out of here. What have you got in those cargo pants, Mr. Douglas? Is it? Is it a grenade pistol? I think it is. Also, we're going to buy all the grenades you own. Please don't ask why. We're not going to put anything in the truck that we need now. Because we need it sooner. So now the only thing that remains to be done is the final boss, but first, we're feeling a little tired. So it's gonna go have a little lie down. Because being a mist investigator is hard, yo. This guy, and then as soon as we hear the that's the. Can we get the game sound turned up? So I can't actually hear the audio cues. This guy, nice wide bird. So for this fight, we need the grenade pistol loaded with grenades. We also need a recovery 2 in there, and screw it, let's just move another one in there, just in case. Make another save state, and then it's nap time. There's no actual sound at the moment. If it's a little bit louder, it's probably fine. Maybe just a touch higher? Yeah, awesome. So this is Cannon Head. I wonder why he's called that. So we got good RNG for the mode, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to cast Necrosis on him. Necrosis is really useful. So it does damage over time, like it's like a poison effect. But, more importantly, it also stops bosses from using their special abilities. Which doesn't work all the time on Cannon Head for some reason. So he's going to like fire us now. But by and large, it's just a godsend. Yeah, so it doesn't really work on Cannon Head, and depending on like how the timing works, sometimes he just does this. Oh, you interrupted the spellcast as well? That kind of sucks. And because it's a Squeenix boss, this isn't even his final form.
Just been asked a very important question. How does Cannon Head reload his cannon?
That is a wonderful question. Does anyone know? I think he just kind of like spits them out. No, I'm just gonna do this because losing on camera is no fun. Normally you can do them in one, but all of the damage is RNG, so it's fun. And now we get to watch Cannon Head kick the bucket. Mainly because it's unskippable, but it's a good time for a drink, I guess. And now he melts, like all good monsters. And unlike number 9, he is actually gone for good, which feels good.
It's Witcher 2 that's Triss, isn't it?
I haven't ever played with one of them.
Well, wasn't that fun? What do we want? We don't want a protein capsule, but we might as well take these. We're going to need grenades later, and like running out is not cool. Technically, you don't need them, but yeah, no one wants to be caught short. So now that Cannon Head is dead, we just need to get the truck key from Mr. Douglas, who for some reason didn't want to give it up before. Maybe because it's his baby and we've taken everything he knows and loves. And then, yeah, get out of here. Sorry for what we did, Mr. Douglas. I know we've ruined everything. Oh, and because Cannon Head exploded, or rather we exploded Cannon Head, we can't go back around the normal way. So we have to duck into the general store in Dryfield, presumably also owned by Mr. Douglas. and visit our old friend, Mr. Spidey. He's probably got a proper name. Yeah, I like Mr. Spidey. This time around, he's a lot easier to dodge. You just backpedal, miss, and then off we go. And that's the only trouble he ever gives us. Well, I guess he turns up in the refuge, in the shelter, sorry. We'll go through here. But that's probably a different Mr. Spidey.
I don't know, what's the beta? I thought these modes
Dodgety dodge. And into the hidden doorway here, because what is level design? Dryfield's the best. We get the other side. Don't give a shit about the bats. Hey Hannigan, how's it going? Hell yeah, we're ready to go. And that's it. Disc 1 is done. Hopefully that came back on the stream, right? Yeah, I think so.
You have to just get really, like, you have to get, like, drums.
Skippity, 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 skip.
And, like, you get
This sounds like a high-octane chase.
Yeah, yeah. And like,
But before we do anything, we're going to go over here. This whole, like, mini-boss scene is actually hilarious. So these dudes are up here, and they just charge, and we just herd them off the cliff. But first we need to talk to Hannigan, who's got a bit out of breath, bless him. Right, we'll see how this goes. This is kind of tough, because there's a downside, it turns out, to herding all these dog things off the cliff, which is that if they hit you, you go off the instant death cliff as well, and as they say, this kills the crowd. As long as they charge at the right angle, it's okay. And there are quite a lot of these guys. We have to do quite a lot of herding, but it's way easier than fighting them, right? They basically just killed themselves. They're so dumb. Woo! Another one bites the dust, and another one down, and another one down. Off the cliff with you. Is that all of them? Yay! Sweet! Actually, probably want to stay around, check if there's anything in the trunk that we're going to want. What's the bottle? Yeah, we'll take that. Start those guys. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Okay, great. Right, before we go in here, we want to buy... What do we want to buy? Energy Shot 2. It says, yeah, that's the right one. And then items-wise, we need the grenade pistol loaded with our new airburst bullets. We want to have the recovery 3 around here, and we also need to put the grenade bullets in here so that we can reload them later on. I forgot that once before, and that is quite embarrassing. So I think we're good. Safe state out here for the inevitable screw up. Hasn't happened yet. So this place is pretty cool. This is the refuge, not to be confused by, but confused with, the shelter, which is what we're going to come to next. Hammy double take number 2. Oh, there will be plenty more. So we just need to come up here, gape into the abyss and go, oh no, that's a pretty big drop, before we can convince Aya that we need to like do something about it. and that jumping is not really a valid alternative. But that's fine. So I'm just gonna come back around here because conveniently someone has left something out here that might be able to help us. Damn it. Thought I'd skip the fight there. We can dream. Yeah, let's make a runaway minecart. We'll be fine. And then, oh look, a board with step on it. It's like it was made for us. Bloopity 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 bloop. Where are we? Yeah, we're up here. Okay. Use the board. Yeah, we don't need to see. And then, bats! Surprise bats! However will we deal with this? Maybe running away. The best weapon in Nye's arsenal. Okay, now it's briefly puzzle time. We just need to take this plug out of here. Yeah, oh, I missed the plug. Let's try that again. Yes, I would like the plug, thank you. There it goes. Lower it. Of course you lower it. Like, whenever you get the option to push something, do it. Lovely jubbly. Now, yeah, if we're quick there, we can escape the bats again. We don't have to trigger that fight. So this boss is like an RNG shit show, so we'll see how this goes. Ideally, he's going to make a noise and then jump down by the barrel, and then everything's going to be fine. Yeah. That didn't quite work. Also, sometimes the auto-aim feature just doesn't work, and you hit other things. Yeah, like this, and it's like, come on game. So we need to hit the barrel, because if the barrel explodes, then this guy just dies. We just kind of go around a bit more. Oh, and sometimes this happens, and he just like dicks about at the other end of the game. It's gonna be fun. So we just need to like draw him out, and then he'll be down here somewhere. For fuck's sake. This is one of the, well, one of the bits of the game that I find harder. There we go. Took a bit of damage, but you know, so what. This guy, like all good monsters, melts. Now we're gonna fight this one. So first thing, energy shot, similar thing, we need to tempt him, blow this up, and then we can necrosis him while he's down, which is going to stop him like dicking about later on. Oh look, there's a barrel. Isn't this fun? So basically we're just going to give him the run around here. Oh, this could be bad. So, those grenades. Is there one more? I think there's one more. Oh no. Just got to kill him dead now. Oh, man. And boss fight done. Item obtained. Select. So we want to use the recovery. We want to take the handgun, and yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's just hit the grenades as well. Press the switch, nothing happens. Yeah, so basically we get is it Hannigan's handgun, and there's also his motorbike there, or some I can't even remember now. And it's like, oh no, maybe something bad has happened. Ominous, 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 ominous. But don't care about us this time. They do care on the way out, 100%. You go back. Oh no, the puzzle broke. But it's okay, because now we have another jumper plug, which we inexplicably need right now. No. Lovely. Just what the doctor ordered. What? I hate that. Press the switch. In we go. Magic hole in the wall. So this is the shelter. What is this place? Not fun. So Spidey's here again. If we go this side, we kind of trick him, and then he just does that, and we just run around him. Second easiest Spidey dodge. Go down. Yeah, the metaphor is strong in this one. So the shelter's a lovely place, pretty homely. This corridor has like 4 different scenes. It's like so long. I'm gonna go up here. Yeah, they're about to find us, get lasered a bit. Thankfully the lasers don't really care about us. At least not yet. And we're gonna turn them off before they really do. That's got to be a cat sound, right? They just stuck a microphone under a cat, just like stood on its tail, recorded the result, and then like lovely jubbly. So these guys, if you step on them, they electrocute you. Apart from the third one, which inexplicably doesn't. So the line there is just that, and then go there before the lasers shoot us. It's really annoying that they're not consistent. Like, it'd be really cool if they were. Okay. Or it's just Waluigi. Oh, tank controls. Okay, so the shelter gets a little bit confusing because there are 2 levels that are identical. Right? So it's like a floor here and a floor here, and they have exactly the same layout, and if you forget which floor you're on, then like routing be damned, you kind of lost. Which seems like bad level design. So we're gonna go into the ominously named sterilization chamber. Our job to advance the plot in this part of the game is basically to go to the ground floor and get stabbed. So we're gonna dutifully play our part. Go down. Wah, wah, wah. Some lasers. Might get hit by this if I fail to find it. Oh no, this one is. There's one where I can never hit the door. It's kind of annoying, but it'll be fine. Oh, these guys are great as well. So this is the septic tank. So they're basically swimming in shit. It's just a cow's moo. Again, they just stuck a microphone under a cow and were like, job done, you know, time for lunch, guys. It's funny. Go this way. Into the breeding room. Oh, they definitely nailed the monster design in this. Oh, this is really fun. There's like a spring-loaded thing in the last cage. So we're going along and boing. Look at that again. Oh, these guys are the best. Here we go. This is what we've been coming all the way down for. And get stabbed. Run away. Isn't being an FBI agent fun, kids? Basically, since then, shit's gone down in here. The animals have been released from the zoo. We're just gonna go back up. Lovely. Is this where I keep missing the door? Maybe. Oh yeah, because it's right around the corner and not on the side you expect. Got there. Scorch marks, similar to ones in a dream. This is suspicious. So before we go any further, we need to stop here and pick up some grenades. Again, probably don't need them like 100%. We're going to go into the decontamination room. They're very thorough, Aya says, which is kind of funny. We're just going to like jump. We're just going to jump down the dust chute because fuck it. We don't want to be decontaminated to death. That's no fun. Let's check we're good. So this boss is like fairly easy. Just got to remember to get it right. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is run up past the line on the floor, energy shot, turn around, grenade, fireball. Might be a little bit too. Yeah, that failed. Missed. Fireball, and then get one grenade off before he shuts his mouth. Lovely. And reload. Dodge the things on the ceiling. And wait. So we need to get one in the mouth just as it opens. And then 2 more grenades, and we should be done with this guy. Yeah, sometimes he takes an extra grenade, but you know, we lucked out. But wait a minute. That's the first time we've seen him. This isn't how bosses. We know this isn't how bosses work. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Surprise! He wasn't dead. Scumbag game. Scumbag game. So we need to jump in here. Start the lift going up and energy shot while we do it. For this skip to work, this technique to work, we need to hit him twice. So now he's here. Do that. His mouth's at the apex. Hit him twice, and we shouldn't get eaten. Lovely. So now we just like wait for the lift to come up. That was better than I normally do it. But now the lift's up and we've damaged him enough. We can run through here, and there's another panel in here, and it's like nothing's happening. And then he steps on it, and oh shit, yes. This is the best way to kill a boss. And we get this lovely scene where he just gets squashed. It's like, yeah. And we're going to take the other recovery. We can always ditch them later if we've got too much in our inventories, but in our inventory, you know, it's nice to have them. Like, better than dying. Clutch percent is not what you want. Hannigan's back. He's not dead. Oh, champ. I think in the next room we get to see the next, well, like a half-dead version of the next enemy. Yeah, these guys. So like the ones before. Oh, there's an exploding head. Yeah. So we missed that. Yeah, so they have spiky legs as well, like the orange and black ones. They are also a pain in the ass, but it should be alright to deal with them. Sometimes you get hit by the exploding head there, which kind of sucks. But we swapped that, so that's fine. Control panel. Fun fact, pressing down twice there auto jumps it to 5, so you don't have to scroll through the digits, which is fun. Hannigan's decided to wail on this guy, which actually slows us down, which is a little bit annoying. Because we have to do the whole reload sequence and so you know, you could have just left it, right? Your job is to not do anything, Hannigan. We don't need you to kill things, we don't need you to protect us, right? We got this. But no, he insists on interfering, which is kind of annoying. So there's a little sizzly thing here, which is going to zap us before we go up. But it's fine, we'll just take it on the chin. Maybe Hannigan will dispense sweet justice. But I hope he doesn't, because again, it takes a long time.
We've got a £5 donation from Dino212, so thank you very much for that. Hope you're enjoying the stream.
Thank you very much. So now basically we're trying to climb back up to where we were. Let's release the emergency. Yeah, that'll be great. Hannigan decides that he doesn't love us anymore, so disappears for a bit. Basically, we need to get something, and then head to. Well, it's not really the control room. I guess it's just the lab, but it's got the computer we need, so it's basically a control room. It might as well be. So now that we have Yoshida's card from that elevator ride that we skipped, now we can go back down to where we were originally stabbed and carry on making progress. So you can think of the entire last however many minutes as just being a means by which we can get past the stabby thing. Yeah, fangs are out. And we don't get stabbed. Isn't life fun? But we're gonna get hit by this guy. Oh, we're not. Okay, we'll take that. probably didn't need to hoard quite so many recoveries then. Excellent faith in their own abilities. Exploding heads, kind of half the course now. So just need to go, yeah, get hit by this guy. And get the magic bottle in the lab coat and into the laboratory. Do 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 do. Aha, a terminal. This is so infusion. Okay, so we're gonna like type in the password, but it's just not built for, you know, human interaction. So please wait. Checking password. Okay, there's the annoying little worm. Level E's. I hate it. So I want to play the game. So all we need to do here is the visitor program, where you get asked trivia on the game. Nice. Oh, I fucked up. Dryfield. Oh, it's right. Crustaceans. Yeah. So it says clout, but in the original game it was actually clamp. So somebody typoed like the most plot relevant thing in that whole sequence. It's kind of confusing. Let's do this.
We've just got a donation for £40 and 20 pence from Sigma D, saying, really enjoying the run. Good luck to all the runners. Thank you very much. That is a fantastic donation.
Nice, thank you. So now we want to go back to the top of the facility, because Hannigan's just given us a call and he's got something to show us. Let's hope it's fun. Yeah, so I don't like the way the game talks to you here. It's like, you know, you need to answer trivia questions on the game universe before you're allowed to proceed, right? This is a Squeenix game, damn it. This is not optional. You will be immersed in our universe. Oh, this is the one where, like, yeah, sometimes you miss the riff. Anyway, this is kind of fun because the big blast door up here, now we get to go in it. Guy in front be damned, we'll just click through it. That's how this universe works. So now we are in the real control room.
That is a good screen.
So we want to open the door. That seems pretty important. Yeah, we can push buttons. Isn't it fun? Then we want to turn on the lift. Because that is also quite important. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to disable the security system. Now, while this isn't technically necessary, like, life is a whole lot easier if you're not being hounded by auto turrets. Generally. I don't know. Maybe some people are into that.
Yeah. Over that way.
So now we turn the lift on, let's go use it. And see, this is good, right? So we get to the door before the you won the battle, like, kind of registers. So the game just lets us through without another lengthy cutscene of reloading or all that stuff. Past the shit-swimming space cows. And up the lift. too... this has to be like the worst level in the game. The puzzles are kind of fun, but otherwise not so much. Okay. Oh, cutscene. No, I don't want more cutscenes. Spare me. And we find ourselves in Neo Arc. Isn't that a cool name? It's glassy, it's modern. Isn't it wonderful? So there are two arms to Neo Arc. We need to do the left one first, which is a little bit shorter. And go do the right one, and then we can head back into the main facility to really kick things off plot-wise. So we can just clip right through this guy. He doesn't care, we don't care, the game doesn't care. And we can trigger this cut change before he hurts his head. So, you know, everyone wins. Okay. McNutty memory time. Let's solve a puzzle. That's how we do it. So you said there were 3 colours there, in terms of blocks, and 3 lines around the edge of the screen. You need to line up a colour of block with the line around the edge. The red one opens this door here, which we need to proceed. The blue one, I think, gives you a free item, just to like really fuck you over. If you spend 5 minutes solving the yellow one, it just spawns monsters. Now we have like the giant baby AMC, which is really, really creepy. Basically, it's full of mitochondria, so they were like, fuck it, we'll just turn it into a power plant. We're gonna, I guess, put it out of its misery. Okay. So blow up the machine. Blow up the baby. Lovely. So recovery 3. Fuck it, we'll take it, why not? Again, we can always ditch things later. Actually, yeah, let's just use one. We've got like 1 million. I guess we can pick up a bit of damage in here, so might as well have something. Ooh, a little bit late. So that's the end of the first arm of Neo Arc. And now, these fuckers. So the tails are spiky. Right, and they're fairly easy to dodge until they hop right in front of you. And then you try and dodge them and you dodge into like other tails, and yeah, it's just a mess. I hate these guys with a passion. Not quite as much as the hissing ones with the spiky legs, but like, oh my. I've had like nightmares about these things. In fact, most of the game is nightmare fuel, as I think chat pointed out earlier. Yeah, the monster design is really on point. Yeah, so that was the PA system basically going, oh shit, there's a fire, you should go down this side. You know, it doesn't know that we caused the fire, and I guess there's no one around to care, so ain't that great. Get introduced to a new monster, which we see once. But it's got a cool little intro animation, so we'll let it do its thing. And it's also unskippable, so we have to do that. Cow. So this is annoying because not only is this this kind of arm of Neo Arc longer anyway, but there's also this little garden path that we have to walk up. And there's no reason that it has to be this long, apart from the fact that the developers hate us. Because, right, so these 2 things, we have to dodge them, which is like not tremendously hard. We just have to like go round and round, and the perspective is slightly off on the corners and the doors, which means that like sometimes you don't make things that you think you should make, or the door is further away or closer than you thought it was. More point and tail things, although they're going to be gone after you've done the puzzle. See if I can remember this one as well. Okay, so red, yellow, blue, white, blue, white, red, yellow, white, blue, yellow, red. Lovely. Easy when you know how. I pity anyone who has to actually solve these puzzles. Ain't no one got time for that. So it's, yeah, so here we can like let the guys drop down and kind of plot a path through and dodge the last one, which tends to be like easier than just plowing through. We don't care too much about damage. And we do have to face the boss without heals, so in theory it's nice. Although we have like all the recoveries in the world just in case. Interestingly, it's better to drink the recoveries in battle because it takes slightly less time than if you do it out of combat. So, I don't think this run is going to be like good enough to warrant that. So now we've done that, we can go here before enemy reappears. And now we're into like the underwater section, because this is actually the crystal maze now. Oh, how we double take! Number 3, I think. See, I don't mind this corridor. This corridor's cool. Feels a little bit like Jurassic Park, in a way. Now, in a feat that will surprise absolutely no one, there was a big power plant AMT at the end of the first leg of Neo Arc. Guess what's at the end of the second one? Yeah. Originality plus... it has a different skin, right? At least they reskinned it. Well, and a different model, so, you know, they put big money into this. Yeah, a little bit weird maybe. So we want to dodge around the back of this guy, so that he doesn't hit us with his incredibly long arms. Right, so he has these super long arms that can hit you like from a mile away, but these short stubby legs, so we can't actually like go anywhere. Which is good for us. What a surprise! Said no one. Well, this guy's model is pretty cool though. So same thing again, gonna aim for me to start the fight. Where are we? Energy shot for massive damage. Turn the machine off. And this guy's gonna take 2 grenades. He also melts, but importantly gives us this vinyl pack, which is a Ringer's solution. This is like god tier pickup, so it's full health and full ammo in a game that's fairly stingy. So the way I've started doing this is to try and keep 2 of these for the final boss fight, to kind of smooth out the RNG shit show that is the final showdown with Eve, which we'll get to a little bit later. Basically, yeah, now we've killed that, we can go back and go down the other lift, because that's basically what the end... the end game content here is basically just lifts. The game's like, now you get to go in this lift. Woo! So we're going to come back through this route once more in the run after we defeat this boss. But thankfully, that's other than that, Neoarch is basically done. These fuckers again. Yeah, it's fine. Is that the last time we deal with them? Might be. Not sure. We have another announcement on the PA, possibly, because we just started another fire. Neoarch is not in good shape now, but you know, sorry, not sorry. Out the door. Feels good, man. More cutscenes. Skippity skip. Out of the frying lift and into the fire lift. Is basically how this works. I'm not ready yet. Nah, we're ready. Fuck it, we're always ready. I is ready for anything. Born ready. So there's a fun shimmery effect here, and the first time that I was playing this through, down we go. First time I was playing this through, this killed the emulator. So every time the screen shimmered, every object on screen vanished, and I'm just like, wow, this boss is really hard. And then it turns out like no, the emulator was glitched. So different graphic settings changed that, but it was kind of a bummer. So we just need to take the guy out here and then prepare for Stickman. That's up. Oh. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. Ah, it's Eve. Hello, Eve. Nice to meet you. MP boost 2, yeah, we'll take that because we get some back anyway. Right, before the fight, we want P energy. We need plasma to deal with Eve's like trickery, and we're also going to take energy shot level 3. In terms of items, now we want the magic handgun. Oh, do we not get the bullets for that? Okay, that's fun. This could be fun. Yeah, that's what we want. We want these. Do not have the correct ammo. Oh well. I'm sure everything will be fine. So we want the Eau de Toilette, because when we huff that, we get Berserker mode. What else do we have? We'll take Recovery 3, and an MP boost, I guess. Sure. Okay, so I think that's everything.
If you're not happy about it, then
Okay, Stickman. So one up here, while we're waiting for him, energy shot. So we should have some other bullets for this that I neglected to pick up earlier. So this is a little bit clutch. Basically, plasma stops Eve doing that. Yeah, we should be doing more damage than this. This might take a while. So we just need to cast plasma whenever that happens. So Eau de Toilette allows us to convert. We huff it and we get to turn health into magic, which is pretty cool. grab that and then P boost. And finish this off. Because Will screwed up and didn't get the right bullets for this. It has a status effect. This is pretty shit. Because I won't load. This might just be death. Right, so we're supposed to pick the bullets up from the truck, which I didn't do. So we'll fix this somehow. Energy shot, energy shot. Actually, yeah, that's plasma to cut Eve off. Oh, we hit by that already. And then necrosis. Okay, let's try this one more, and then I might just skip to a save file and carry on. This is kind of annoying. Yeah, not worth going back to fix it at this point. Wah, wah. Right, that's why you need the plasma to turn that off, and then lol. So we should be doing like twice as much damage, and also it sort of like sucks our health a little bit. Let's try it this way around. Get hit by a status effect, that would be pretty sucky. Come on. Oh yeah, right. Oh, I'm confused. This might be. Yeah. Because now we can't cast plasma. See how it goes. Yeah, it's not be death. Okay, so gonna call this dead at this point and just try and play through the rest of the game from slightly further on. Which kind of sucks, but... What can you do? Okay, so basically... what do we have so far, guys? Yeah. Okay. So we'll play through the last couple of bosses. Basically, after Stickman, we kind of grab Eve, go back up to the surface, and it turns out that number 9 has run away with Eve, which is a little bit sucky. So we need to go back in and save her. Dog is back. Thanks, Flint, to give us a useless item. And we're going to talk to this guy, because this guy is going to give us a fuck off magnum and special poison bullets that we need for that. What do we need from you? We need magnum bullets. They seem useful. We're also going to take 2 pepper sprays, which are surprisingly effective. In theory, you can take one for Eve, but yeah, doesn't work out very often. So how are we doing? Okay. So before we go in, we're going to need metabolism, healing, and antibody. In terms of items, obviously we want the giant magnum with the poison bullets. In our inventory, we want the toilet. The normal magnum bullets so that we can reload them later. Actually, does this guy sell ringer solutions? I bet he doesn't. But it seems we don't care about time anymore. Might as well have a check. No, he doesn't. Okay, never mind. Okay. So the final item we're going to take with is probably an MP boost. Just because they tend to be a little bit more useful, because we can convert MP to mana fairly efficiently now. So there was an epic fight to get out of here. It's relatively quiet on the way back. Although the blinky lights are on, which must mean something is afoot. Oh, also of note, on the way out, there is like the coolest enemy in the whole game, which is the invisible golem that randomly like chokeholds you from behind at inopportune moments. They're pretty neat, although annoying to deal with. Mister's calling, but we don't care. They're going to figure that out one day, but we're not actually listening to what they say. But until then, very dramatic music. Yeah, so there are 2 bosses here. What do we want? Yeah, this one. Yeah. And for the final time. We need to step in here. It doesn't matter if we get hit, because the cutscene in here brings us down to 40 HP. There's a great scene. If you miss this door and walk, try and go downstairs first, like where you should go, eventually, I was like, oh, I can feel it in my mitochondria. I need to be upstairs. And it's like, what on earth is this? Right, that's the most bullshit plot reason to signpost it you could possibly think of. Anyway, basically, number 9's up here. Shit goes south, and someone has to sort it out. And the only person within like a 500-mile radius who can go near without exploding and catching fire is Ayabrea. So I think I sorted that out. So we're just going to make another save state and head downstairs. We might get ambushed by a golem here. Let's hope we don't. Yeah. Just, try that again. It's not worth dealing with. We can Oh, sorry, we should also heal up. Let's go back and do that. We have a spare recovery field, so we should totally use that. Yeah, screwing up the boss fight is not concentration. But it's fine, we got through the door, which is what we care about here. So this guy is basically a giant baby AMC again. It even cries. Bless it. Bless its little cotton socks. So we want to do energy shot. Immediately energy shot again. Shoot it until purple comes out of it. This RNG is really bad. I think that was it. Yeah. Oh. Targeting. Fire it so its arm falls off. Chug the eau de toilette. Yeah, we don't have as many bullets as we should have, but that's okay. Then belly opens up for the final attack. So we need to shoot it. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's bad. Okay. For reals this time. The way you kill this boss is with pepper spray. It's like there's a reason I bought them. Yeah, time to spam the throws. Oh, and it didn't heal. Wow, I suck at this game. Whatevs. Toilet. Right, let's do this properly this time. Shoot. Pepper spray. Get a couple of bullets off. Pepper spray. And then die. That's not supposed to happen. Oh, I'm going to be forced to... clutch. Okay, we can finish this guy off. It's going to make the Eve fight a lot harder though. But we get another one, so we couldn't have two, which is what you really want. Because Eve can give you some pretty shit RNG. Basically, so the myriad bullets that we have might deal 1k damage to Eve. They might deal 50. So sometimes, if you get good luck, then the fight is over basically before it begins. If you get bad luck, it's a real slog, and having 2 ringer solutions is infinitely preferable to 1, especially here where we don't really have enough items to fill up the inventory. Well, I guess we just do. So we've got some wider bullets left. What, 7 plus 6, 13? Yeah, that's right. So let's hope for good RNG and pass Yoshida's card through the reader, which produces the desired effect. And this is the final boss. Okay, first things first. Need to immediately dodge out of the way. Energy shot up. We've got the RNG where Eve goes up, so we're just going to run out of the way and take this opportunity to do that. Basically just shoot Eve. Anything over a couple of hundred is good. Yeah, so I missed the trigger. There's an audio trigger there. Oh, what do we do? That's antibody. An audio trigger there, and you can kind of get her while her head's facing forwards. Yeah, there we go. And then I ran out of bullets, which is kind of annoying. That tends to go pretty well. If you don't deal enough damage to over the shimmery effect, then this also kills the crab. So we got a little bit too late there and missed the frame that we needed to. But it's fine. Like, we have the healing spells for a reason here. We want to save a couple for whatever Eve decides to do next. Because if we can... Yeah. So there comes a point damage-wise where she just doesn't sort of have that frame anymore. Let's heal up a bit. Damage here isn't great. Oh. We can't hit her. Might just be dead. Yeah. Start over. Yeah, so one of the things with the E-fight is sort of managing mana, because later on you get hit with a lot of status effects from Eve. Wow, RNG is really bad. Let's take that hit. So you have to have mana available. And also, like, if the energy shot runs out, right, you... Yes, you see that we dealt enough damage straight away. You can also see the Maida bullets, like, yeah, so we're into the second stage of, are we into the second stage of the fight? No, that was the wrong attack. Eve don't care. Just the opportunity to reload. Should be getting there now. So we're going to heal up, and then MP's a bit low, so we're going to MP boost, which is normally about the time Eve decides to silence us with a status effect. Okay, so now we're into the second phase of the boss fight. Also, energy shots run out, we need to get that done stat. See, Eve's given us a status effect which we need to get rid of, like, pronto, in order to not die. Energy shot again, because that stacks. Eve isn't going to stop, so we're not going to either. Take the 17 for the heal. Couldn't hit her at all, that was a bit weird. Reload. I guess the dodging attacks are fine. They're less likely to kill us than the status effects are. Because one of the status effects, because the game really hates you, is silence. Time to chug another MP boost. Try and save our Ringer's solution for a little bit later, and get this before we die. a little bit clutch because normally you'd have another ringer solution at this point that we don't have. Also, energy shot run out again. Absolutely fine status effect, so we'll clear that. Looks like we're getting towards the end now. Is it worth using the ring solution? Yeah, screw it, why not? Oh, we have the ring solution. Keep on plugging away. There we go. And game.
Well done.
Now we get to watch the cutscene as the ultimate being, because it's a Squeenix game, is finally defeated. Spoiler alert, it's basically Aya. Well, there we go. Hopefully you've enjoyed this.
Cool. Thank you very much. Up next we have Murtag doing Dust and Elysian Tale. So welcome him back in a moment.